The year is 1545 and Henry VIII is King of England. The country has not yet heard of William Shakespeare, Admiral Nelson, Queen Victoria or the sailing channel. But England does know all about France. The two countries have been at war more than they have been at peace. Now it's summer. The French fleet invade England. There were a lot of them, yeah. In July of 1545, the French attacked the Solent. The French invasion of the Isle of Wight was a disaster. On July 22, the fleet was forced to depart back to France.
Ooh la la.
On July 19, the English fleet came out to Portsmouth to engage the French in the Solent. The day battle was short, and neither side made any progress because they were fighting at a quite long range. The next day, July 19, because of wind, the English couldn't get out of harbour. The French ships already in place bombarded the English defences. At evening, wind changed. The English fleet reached the old enemy. Watched by Henry VIII from Southsea Castle, the battle raged until disaster struck. Leading the way was a Mary Rose, a carrack served in the English fleet for 30 years. The Mary Rose fired her guns, launched and held, and almost immediately began to sink. We still don't know what happened. The only information from the time is from a Frenchman who said that a French ship hit the Mary Rose.
Ooh la la.
But there is no evidence to support that. Today, historians think that she was packed too heavy with guns and equipment, and that gun hatches near the waterline were left open, letting the water pour in as she heeled. Whatever happened, the Mary Rose sank to the bottom of the Solent. And there Mary Rose would stay, her precise location unknown. Until the wreck was rediscovered. The first timber from the wreck was found in 1970.
Ouch.
And by May of 1971, researchers were finally sure that they had found the Mary Rose. The first job was to protect the wreck from treasure hunters. Mary Rose Committee was formed and rented that part of seabed, which was enough until the Protection of Wrecks Act gave the Mary Rose formal legal protection. Underwater archaeologists were able to examine parts of the wreck. But the idea of raising the Mary Rose needed a new charitable foundation. This was the Mary Rose Trust. It was a job that nobody had successfully attempted before, raising a centuries-old wreck from its resting place buried in a muddy seabed. Eventually, it was decided that divers would move everything they could from inside the wreck. Just after 9 a.m. on the 11th of October 1992, the lift began, broadcast live on the BBC. The nation gasped twice as the wreck was almost lost for good when a lifting leg bent and part of the frame slipped. But finally, the Mary Rose came free out of the water. To be exposed to the air for the first time in hundreds of years. And the air was the next problem. To prevent the wreck from falling apart after so long underwater, It had to be dried very slowly. How slowly? 34 years after the Mary Rose was raised, where the final phase of air drying ended. The whole of the Mary Rose remained on display to the public in a protected environment in Portsmouth Historic Dockyard, where she gained her current home in the form of a £35 million display hall in the Dockyard complex. Since then, conservation and research work have continued. It's definitely worth a visit if you get a chance. Find the museum link below this video for more information. We hope you enjoyed our short history lesson. If you like our films, you can consider visiting our online store or buying us a coffee. Also using the link below. See you next time. Bye!